Souls, in this short video, I will be sharing with you if you've ever been in a narcissistic relationship, especially I will speak about me who grew up with a narcissistic mother and had no clue until recently when I was exploring why and what led me to be involved in a narcissistic relationship where I was so deeply enthralled by the narcissist. All my life up until recently, I never fit in. I was always treated differently, no matter how down to earth I was, no matter how accepting, no matter how caring I was, no matter how giving. And I gave to my mother, to my family, to people. I gave to everyone except myself at the time. I burned out easily as an empath. And over time and within the last few years, I found myself just becoming so angry and so angry at giving and exceeding my quota of giving. And whoever I gave to, it did not matter. They cared a little, whether it be my mother, whether it be in the narcissistic relationship that I was in, whether it be in a work setting. Like, I would end up in trouble even just sitting in a corner doing my job, or being at home minding my own business or doing what I was expected to be doing. It didn't matter. I remember I used to work with this guy named Geza, and Geza said to me, "Boy, it doesn't matter what you do. If you do good, you're in trouble. If you do nothing, you're in trouble. Either way, it doesn't matter, you're in trouble." And for most of my life, I grew up thinking something was wrong with me, disliking myself, at times hating myself, being frustrated with myself. I thought I deserved better, but it took a lot for me to get to that place of better, where it got to a point where I now love myself and value myself above all others, because I have to put myself first. When the rest of the world is gone and there's no one there, and you're in those moments where you could use some comfort and you can't find anyone. If you try to call someone, either they're asleep, they're with their own family, they're at work, they are living their lives. It's just you that you have. So for many people who are empaths, who find themselves in narcissistic relationship, struggle to put themselves first and to give themselves that love that they deserve. I'm going to share with you in the next few months some of the challenges that, even though I've left the narcissistic relationship, I still end up living through these things, because the effects continue. Even though the narcissist has left your life, there is the mindset that you have to change. And when you change the mindset, it doesn't just happen in one snap, right? If you're dedicated, it will happen and you deserve it. So you should do it for yourself. If you're an empath, like, there are many people in relationship with narcissists who are empathetic people, but don't experience the same effects as when an empath is with a narcissist, because that empathetic person in the narcissistic relationship, they will not allow the narcissist to violate their boundaries as much. So the narcissist doesn't get as deep into their manipulation with empathetic people. But with empathic people, empaths, who they know are people who love to give, love to nurture, right? They will give beyond their capacity. They will run amok in your life. And I found myself in that situation, being the person who saw the narcissistic partner as my family, because I grew up not having any family support. I had a lot of relatives, and my mother, the narcissist, was in my life sporadically, but it was always chaotic. Like, I could never get a pulse. I could never get I could never understand why. no matter what I did with this lady, I was never embraced or accepted in the same way she would be kind and empathetic to other people, or appear to be kind and empathetic to other people. Even her other child, who lacks ambition, she was more kind, devoted, dedicated to her. But when it came to me, she always had limits, always had threshold. I never met her standards, no matter how much I tried. I remember one time I was working as a bank teller, and I remember someone came to the branch and saw me, and they said to me, "You don't know, your mother talked to me about you all the time." I'm like, "Really? What did she say?" "Oh, she's proud of you." I'm like, "She's never told me that." It took me being in my 20s before I heard the words "I love you" from my mother for the first time in my life, which was so weird. Like, for years, I was like, "She loves me?" I couldn't figure out what kind of love she talking about, because I saw very little evidence of it. There's so much to unpack from my upbringing with a narcissistic mother, a covert narcissistic mother, that no one else pretty much knows that she is a narcissist. And it took me a better part of my life to figure it out. And how I figured it out was because of my ex narcissistic partner. When I was going through, you know, understanding deeply about narcissism at the end of the relationship with him, and I decided, no, if there is a correlation between you getting into a narcissistic relationship because you were exposed to narcissism sooner, where was I exposed to it? And when I sat down and I put side by side both mother and partner and started to document the similarities between them, it made so much sense to me, and I finally understood why what I could not understand for my entire life with my mother, who I call my surrogate. No disrespect, but that's how she appears to me. Like, she's always been detached to me, with me. So going through, I found this picture. This was me shortly after I lost my only son, my beautiful baby boy, Matthew. And I had to bury him, and then I got in a motor vehicle accident and I could not walk. It was very difficult for me, being 100 and odd pounds and then going up to over 280 pounds here. This person here that you see, I love her deeply. I love her deeply. This person was me a few lifetimes ago. And that smile on her face, this person is smiling but going through so much pain. This person here is a tough cookie. This person, the toughest cookie I know, right? I love this person, and I have it laminated. I found it, I had done it many years ago. But with this person, there are times when I do the Ho'oponopono cleansing prayer, the Hawaiian prayer, that there are times when I look back and I say, "I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you." There are days I look at her, I kiss her, I hug her. Sometimes I tuck her into my chest, hold her to my heart, because this girl here is my best friend. This girl here was the former version of myself. But there are many things. This is like doing inner child healing. This is my former self. So the picture that I was looking for was a picture of my younger self, in order to continue my inner child work, because the healing journey continues. But this is just as important to me, because with this photo, this was a version of my younger self at a time when I was going through such difficulty, still in between both narcissists, narcissistic mother and narcissistic partner, and had no idea where I was going to end up and at what point I was going to get off the narcissistic train. So if you find trouble giving yourself the love that you deserve, where you struggle to give yourself self-love, self-validation, which you deserve, please take a picture of yourself in a state when you were smiling but you were in pain. It is very effective. And do the Ho'oponopono prayer. It's good that it's laminated, because if you're crying, you won't destroy the picture, right? But this girl, I love this girl. And in life, you are your own best friend. You're your number one supporter. Even if you can't find the strength within you right now. But the more you practice loving on yourself, it's like an affirmation. Believe in yourself. And over time, you'll find that the love that you deserve, you will end up giving it to yourself first. You don't have to wait for anyone to love you. You don't have to wait for anyone to give it to you. I'm very grateful that I found this picture. And I'm very grateful that I'm able to use this to help with my inner child healing continuously, even though I've gotten to a place of healing. But narcissism will continue to run amok through your life, because the negative spirits in narcissists, even though you may not be a negative person, but that work that they've done on your mindset, that fear, that panic that they, try to project onto you, it still lives within you after you've exited narcissistic relationships. And if you have not actively done the work, even if you've exited the narcissistic relationship, you'll find yourself living as if the narcissist is still in your life. So I hope you found this message helpful. If you have, and you would like to share your story, please leave a comment below. Share how this resonate with you. Please like, subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Namaste.